and Nell Bryden next.
Will it keep you hanging on? Burn the fire, take the ash. All you had is broken glass. All you had is gone. Take that heart at night, and I'll wear that dress. Losing yourself, come with me. Just say yeah, 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 yeah. If you can, yeah. Say you wanna leave, but I know you can't go. You're covered in Crescent City Gold. If you dare.
All right, that's All You Had and Crescent City Gold from Nell Bryden. That's from her album, and we're going to talk about the album and the single Wayfarer, and also a Radio 2 show that she's doing, and other matters relating to her personally, Nell Bryden. Nell, how are you?
I'm great, hon. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Good to see you again.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations. I happen to know that you recently got married, and in addition to getting married, you're also pregnant. So congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry. Oh, a round of applause. For
Yeah,
the little
another round of
unborn
applause.
child. Very good.
What's going to be, a boy or a girl? Or you
It's
just...
going to be a girl, and if it's a mini-me, I'm terrified. I remember being 13 years old, and my mother turned to me in one of those moments that only 13-year-old girls with their mothers can have, and she said, someday, karma's going to get you back. And I said, that'll never happen. And then here we are. Sounds terrified.
Now, you've released your fifth album, Wayfarer, with a single of the same name following on August 4th. And you've named the album Wayfarer. Why?
Wayfarer means someone who wanders, like a traveling nomad. And obviously, as a touring musician, I've kind of had this privilege of going all around the world. Obviously, I've really kind of made a home over here, but I'm a New York City girl, and I've sort of seen all different parts of the globe, and all those adventures add up.
You have an accent that is... You're slightly losing your accent. Are you aware of that?
I am aware of that. I've consciously tried to get rid of the Brooklyn accent, but I can swalk with a Brooklyn accent if you really want me to.
Oh,
It
yes.
comes out when I'm really annoyed.
Well, I like that. One, me too.
Do the dishes. I'm sick of cleaning up after you.
Oh, that's good. No, you've not lost your accent at all.
No.
But when you go home, does it come back in full very quickly?
It can, yeah. Actually, I come back from New York because I go over there and I say sort of Britishisms like, oh, that's brilliant. And everybody over there is like, what are you on about? And I come back here and I'm like, where's the cab? I'm kind of late.
It's great. Now, I know that you've got some tour dates coming up, so let me just take a look at these. We've got Leamington Spa, the Zephyr Lounge, and then on to Bury and Cambridge and Brighton and Bristol and Eastney. And then in October...
I know.
You're pregnant, you might be working too hard.
Well, I know. You got to kind of do the math on this tour. It starts the 19th of September. It ends the 1st of November. It's 21 dates, and I'm due on the 27th of November. So I think you're right. I may be pushing it, but I do have a family history of this as well, though, because my mom was singing with me in utero at 8.5 months pregnant at Carnegie Hall.
That's all right then.
I think as long as I don't fly to Carnegie Hall to go do a show, then we'll just keep it as local as possible.
She didn't give birth in Carnegie Hall.
No, she didn't. No, but she did say I was kicking away on those high notes. So,
and the baby girl will know your entire repertoire.
well, I got so nervous about this, Steve. I started to think that she's going to come out and hear like All You Had or Wayfarer and be like, oh, this one
No,
again?
That's brilliant. Anyway, 1st of October is Wolverhampton, and through October, there's York, there's Market Harborough, there's Sheffield, Liverpool, Manchester, Newcastle, Glasgow, Kinross, Nottingham, Guildford, Leicester, Winchester, London.
Oh my God, it makes me tired hearing
Well, and rounding off in Newbury on the 1st of November, and then you've got to take a rest.
this. Yeah, and then I'm going to take a rest so that I can have no sleep because I've had a baby.
Yeah,
So.
feet up and all of that, and deal with it.
Okay.
So, we were talking about the album. Now, it's an interesting concept because you've got acoustic versions on there.
Right.
Exactly the same tracks, but acoustic versions.
I had this concept. I really wanted to have an upbeat, up-tempo kind of an album that was really going to be something that reflected this summer kind of happy feeling of my life these days.
Yeah.
Then I got to the end of it and I said, I kind of miss this lyrical narrative versions of it. And my husband said, well, why don't you just go do a whole acoustic version of it? So I went to my manager and I said, we're going to do the whole album again. I think he fell out of his chair.
I don't know why people haven't thought of doing it before.
Was it easy to do, though? I mean, presumably some tracks lent themselves to an acoustic version
Of course.
better than others.
Yeah, well, some of them, it was interesting. I did kind of think like I was covering some other artist. Like I was almost like a jazz singer, kind of taking a standard and then turning it into something completely different. Like All You Had, you guys have played that single a lot here.
Yeah.
It's very dance, electronic, it's sort of Annie Lennox-esque. And then you listen to the version on the acoustic album, it's just piano, and it's a ballad. It's completely different. And the only way to do it was to do it completely differently.
What would you say your genre is?
Oh my God.
I know.
Can't we just talk about me being pregnant some more?
You had to ask, didn't you?
I know. And I've spoiled the whole thing now.
Well, okay, so let's go album by album. The first album I think was more Americana because I was recording it in New Orleans and it was very jazz and blues. The second album was more singer-songwriter, slightly darker lyrically, and it had a lot of rootsy influences. This album, though, like I said, it's a very sunny, up-tempo album. There's more funk and dance influences in here. We were kind of calling on anyone from Nile Rodgers to someone like Annie Lennox. We really wanted to have Fleetwood Mac is also there in Wayfarer.
What should we say?
Do we have to say anything?
No, we don't have to say anything.
Do we?
No,
Well,
we don't. No, we don't
okay,
have
you
to
don't
say
Do you
say
prefer
anything.
we didn't say anything?
I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some sort of amalgam in my head, like
Yeah.
Fleet Lennox instead of Fleetwood Mac and Annie Lennox.
It's another
or
invention. I'm
Annie
gonna write that
Wood,
down.
you know, or I don't know.
Okay, we're going to come back with Nell Bryden in just a moment. Don't go away. Nell's here.
dreams are a high bodies and treetops, my love. But you're with me. Bodies and treetops beneath. Waking, you say don't go, stay with me. Baby, don't go, stay with me. We never need to.
Now we're back here with Nell Bryden. Now, on Monday, 25th of August, Nell will host her very first show for Radio 2. It's called Nell Bryden's New York Hour, celebrating and talking about the music she loves from both sides of the Atlantic. So, what is that music that you love?
So many musicians have come out of New York, and they're everyone from someone like Blondie with Heart of Glass, and I talk about how they got their name down on the Bowery when Deborah Harry was walking down the streets and someone called out, "Hey, Blondie," to her
Oh,
from those
yeah,
shadows.
great.
And then, of course, you got to talk about Bob Dylan, because I sort of feel like I'm following in his footsteps in Greenwich Village a lot of the times, down Bleecker Street and
Yeah.
playing the Bitter End and all those old clubs he used to play. And then there's even people like Ryan Adams, who did that song, New York, New York, that came out. And that was really, the video was 3 days before the World Trade Center was hit. And so this iconic view of the Trade Center, the last sort of view of it.
Yeah.
And of course, there's people like Elvis Costello. Even he married a New Yorker, and he's living in New York now. So there's so many English people that have gone over there and had their life over there as well. John Lennon.
Yeah, and there's also kind of lots of different New York scenes. I mean, there's a kind of a New York scene for each age group.
And then, of course, even in the early 80s, then Suzanne Vega comes out of all that stuff, too. And she's more in the singer-songwriter thing. So.
Oh, yeah, Suzanne Vega. And also, what about the woman that used to go,
Oh, Laurie Anderson. She was married to Lou Reed. In fact, Lou Reed lived down the street from me in the Village on West 12th Street. He had a little Jack Russell Terrier, and he and Laurie Anderson would go out and walk their very yappy little dog.
I'd like to see Lou Reed out walking his dog. wouldn't
I
you? But
know.
not now, obviously.
I know. Well, yeah, not now, but
I would love to have had a conversation with Laurie Anderson and Lou Reed. It
she would go,
made no sense at all.
walk the dog.
That's a great tale in itself.
Yeah, very good. You're sitting in front of us and you're bald.
Yes, I am.
And you're bald because you got the alopecia because of stress in 2011.
Right.
And last time we spoke to you, I think you had an Irish on.
Yes.
So now you're bald, and that's okay?
Yeah, it's actually great. I think it was one of those ironic things where when this happened to me, I thought it was going to be the worst thing that ever happened. But it's really about what you do next at those moments of sort of character building traumas. I kind of had to get off the treadmill and figure out what I wanted. Of course, at first I didn't want to be public about it, and that's why I did wear a wig for those various tours with like Chris Rea and stuff when I first started out. But then I kind of realized I'm in a unique position here as a songwriter and a singer, and I get to either put out this projection of honesty and someone that that I'd really want to hear a song from, someone who's been through something in life and is okay with who they are. Or you can sort of fall into that pop field, which everything is auto-tuned and photoshopped and Botoxed to the nines.
Okay,
and
yeah.
and I think that we just get so much of that anyway. It's just a bit boring after a while. So I really wanted to kind of be the person that was just a bit more, I'm going to put this out there and this is who I am.
It is literally a keeping it real thing, isn't it, really? And what kind of questions do people ask you? Because I think you look really cool.
Aw.
But I suppose you get people saying, well, why are you walking around
Why
like
would you
that?
do that?
Or,
Yeah,
why would
exactly.
you do that?
Yeah.
Or
Sometimes old men will sort of like ask me, well, why would you do that? But I take that as a compliment because they clearly think it was a choice then. It's funny, in the UK, everybody has heard of alopecia because of someone like Gail Porter, so people understand the
Yeah.
concept. Whereas back in America, it's just not widely known at all. So I think a lot of people that are cancer survivors will come up to me and say, I'm a survivor as well. And at that point, it's not about me. It's more about, I say to them, I'm so glad that you're okay, because I don't need to correct them about my condition. This is something that
Yeah.
so many people from so many different walks of life have gone through, and it's quite a feat.
Now, the album's called Wayfarer and the single's called Wayfarer. Tell us about the single that we're about to play.
Yes, well, this would be one of those Fleetwood Macs, so not Fleetwood Lennox. Come on, they wrote great songs,
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac, but they also had that incredible sound. So I think we really wanted to get something that was going to make you want to roll your car windows down, put pedal to the metal, and go just a little bit faster.
Turn it up just a little
Turn it
bit
up a little
louder.
bit more. It's a summer song.
It is, and it's
great.
kind of made for radio, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Nell Bryden's new album, Wayfarer, is out now, and the single of the same name, as previously mentioned, right there, is released on August 4th, and you can hear Nell Bryden's New York Hour. It's on Radio 2 on the August bank holiday, which is 25th at 10 p.m, and the tour kicks off 19th of September, which is my dad's birthday. So
happy birthday, Dad.
maybe you can get to Leamington Spa to see you. I don't know. I'll
Well,
ask him.
if he wants to do that on his birthday, he is more than welcome.
Well, if he can
have
come on-
friends on the list.
Can he come on
absolutely.
stage with you? Or?
Sure. We
Yeah.
can sing him happy birthday. He can help me hold the guitar because I'll have a huge baby bump by that point. So.
He'd like that.
Yeah, good.
Sure. And then rounding off on the 1st of November in Newbury and going to places, as we mentioned before, like Bury and Cambridge and Brighton and Bristol and East York and Market Harbour and Sheffield and Liverpool and all that. And Nell Bryden, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Nell.
Thank you.
I'm the wayfarer, putting my foot in front of the other, watching the world changing, watching the people fight with each other. Where did it all go wrong? When did it all start crumbling down? I'm the wayfarer, watch me now, watch me. Please don't fail me now, don't fail me. Heart keep beating out, keep beating. Not everyone who wanders is lost. I am the wayfarer, I'm the wayfarer. Where do I belong? Where do I belong? Please don't fail me now, don't fail me. Heart keep beating out, keep beating. Not everyone who wanders is lost. I am the wayfarer, I'm the wayfarer, I'm the wayfarer, I'm the wayfarer.
She's a great artist and the loveliest person. Nell Bryden, that's Wayfarer. It's 8 to 4.